In today's video, we're taking a look at 6 massive lies that lead to big implications. Number 6. Big tobacco.
Begin my questioning on the matter of whether or not nicotine is addictive. Let me ask you first, and I'd like to just go down the row, whether each of you believes that nicotine is not addictive. I heard virtually all of you touch on it, and just yes or no. Do you believe nicotine is not addictive?
I believe nicotine is not addictive, yes.
Mr. Johnston.
Congressman, cigarettes and nicotine clearly do not meet the classic definitions of addiction. There is no intoxication.
We'll take that as a no, and again, time is short. If you could just, I think each of you believe nicotine is not addictive. We just would like to have this for the record.
I don't believe that nicotine or our products are addictive.
I believe nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
I believe that nicotine is not addictive.
And I too believe that nicotine is not addictive.
Number 5. President Johnson. President Johnson, as he was running for president, assured the country that they had nothing to worry about. Despite his words, the following March, he began shipping Americans by the tens of thousands to Vietnam.
We are not about to send American boys 9,000 or 10,000 miles away from home to do what Asian boys ought to be doing for themselves.
Number 4. Michael Cohen.
Tonight, Washington on edge right now. You can see the building behind me. A lot of people thinking about what Bob Mueller is doing, securing another guilty plea from a Trump confidant, and this time it's Russia related. We have all the facts for you. Michael Cohen pleading guilty over lying to Congress about a Trump Tower project in Moscow. This is the first public evidence ever that someone inside the Trump organization was actively doing outreach to the Kremlin in the middle of the 2016 campaign. And on top of that, he's admitting to lying about it. You're looking at the footage there of him leaving court. Mueller revealing that Cohen lied about basically 3 things: Trump's involvement in this Moscow project, plans for Cohen and maybe even Trump to travel to Russia for it, and, critically, outreach to the Kremlin for help on the project. Cohen pointing the finger directly at Trump in court today, saying Donald Trump, referred to in this document as Individual 1, was the person involved, in saying that Cohen lied to Congress in order to match Trump's political messaging as well as out of loyalty. So Cohen's first lie, he talked with Trump about Moscow more than he claimed. And he briefed Trump's family members, we'll get to that tonight, within the Trump organization about this very project in Russia. Cohen working on Russia projects, Donald Trump knew it, even though, of course, you may recall, the candidate and the president said over and over that he didn't.
I have nothing to do with Russia, folks, okay?
I have no dealings with Russia. I have no deals in Russia. I have no deals that could happen in Russia because we've stayed away. And I have no loans with Russia.
I have nothing to do with Russia. I have no investments in Russia, none whatsoever. I don't have property in Russia.
I own nothing in Russia. I have no loans in Russia. I don't have any deals in Russia.
I promise you I don't have any deals with Russia.
Cohen also says he lied about how long he was working on this project. That's important because it gives you a flavor for how serious it was, that it was going on until June 2016, months longer than he claimed to Congress, and that Trump denied that a month later. This was right as he was also asking Russia for help hacking Hillary.
I mean, I will tell you right now, 0. I have nothing to do with Russia. Yes. I built an unbelievable company. But if you look there, you'll see there's nothing in Russia. Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
And that's not all. Cohen also admitting today that he lied when he said that he never talked about traveling to Russia for the project. He admits that he did talk about that, and he did communicate about it, and he did work on getting Donald Trump to go. Mueller also has the evidence. These are the emails about Cohen plotting to visit Russia before the RNC convention and writing that Trump could go, quote, once he becomes the nominee.
Number 3. Bernie Madoff.
You know, in today's regulatory environment, it's virtually impossible to violate rules when this is something that the public really doesn't understand. And if you read things in the newspaper and you see somebody violate a rule, you say, well, they're always doing this. But it's impossible for you to go for a violation to go undetected. certainly not for a considerable period of time. And when you consider the volumes of trading, the trillions of dollars of trading that go on, I mean, our firm, for example, alone, we trade in excess of $1 trillion a year. So, and that's one firm. You know, so you can, when you look at the scope of the trading that goes on today in Wall Street, and you look at what we would consider to be the infractions, they're relatively small, you know, primarily because, you know, of all the regulation. And most firms do try to comply with that.
Number 2, President Clinton.
Good morning. Hi. How are you? Thank you.
I am very pleased to introduce America's true education president and the greatest champion of working parents and working families that the United States of America has ever known, President Bill Clinton.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, son. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please be seated. Now, I have to go back to work on my State of the Union speech, and I worked on it till pretty late last night. But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
Number 1, Vice President Dick Cheney.
Many have suggested that the problem can be dealt with simply by returning inspectors to Iraq. But we must remember that inspections are not an end in themselves. The objective has to be disarmament, to compel Iraqi compliance with the UN Security Council resolutions that called for the complete destruction of Saddam's weapons of mass destruction, and an end to all efforts to develop or produce more chemical, biological, or nuclear weapons. Simply stated, there is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction. There is no doubt that he is amassing them to use them against our friends, against our allies, and against us.
Which of the clips hit home most for you? Comment below. Personally, Big Tobacco lying in the mid-90s was pretty crazy to see. You can also suggest in the comments on what the next video should be. The one with the most upvotes will have a deep dive. Thank you for watching.